What is good, clutter people, and welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Bobbalam, facing my biggest threat today with the 2020 election undergoing as we speak. Yes, that means Lil Pimp might be going into office without us even voting for him, but it's alright. Lil Pimp is now my new favorite rapper. But anyway, in today's video we're gonna be talking about Playboi Carti's biggest threat of his career. This is actually real. I'm not trying to make like a joke or anything, because he actually may have some sort of chance of falling off the next couple of years if he keeps going down the same road that he's been running down. And I think a lot of fans are saying this as well. I mean, a lot of people aren't even caring about Whole Lotta Red. You know, I myself will always be ready for Whole Lotta Red dropping, even if it drops in like 3 years or something, and by then Carti will probably be back with Ruby Rose or something like that. But whatever the case may be, still I would like Carti to be successful even when he finally drops Whole Lotta Red in the next decade. So without further ado, Playboi Carti's biggest threat, let's talk about it. Okay, so once again another video on Playboi Carti or Lil Uzi Vert, and I'm sorry for giving y'all so many videos on Uzi and Carti, but there's just been a lot of topics that I wanted to speak on. Plus, I've been getting a lot of comments on people wanting me to report on other artists, and I would be glad to, but the algorithm and like y'all just don't watch the videos if it's about like Trippie Redd or even Juice WRLD or the other artists. So like, I don't want to impede the growth of this channel by speaking on topics that y'all simply just won't watch. So my solution for this is I'm gonna try live streaming my videos almost like a podcast on this main channel, and then cut them up and edit them like a regular video, except it'll just be me face cam, but I'll put all like the cool funny graphics and memes and stuff like that still, and put the biggest topics on this channel so y'all can pick and choose which artists you want to hear about and all that. You don't need to watch every single video. And then the smaller topics will go on the second channel. I'm talking about all the artists that we like in this hip hop and rap game, not just Uzi, Carti, Trippie, Juice WRLD, all like the main ones that we talk about on this channel. And my self promo is over. So to get into the actual video, there was a meme that popped up yesterday and I posted on my Instagram news account, and it sparked up a lot of controversy in that the meme stated Carti isn't on the same level as Uzi and Thugger. Changed my mind. And now I'm not saying I agree or disagree with this statement, but a lot of y'all were commenting, so obviously a lot of people had something to say. It almost looks like our 2020 election with Trump versus Biden, but we're not going to get into politics. But to get into some of the answers I saw, is it even possible to compare artists arguably in their prime, aka Uzi and Thugger, to Carti with only 2 albums out? Because as we all know, Playboi Carti only officially has 2 projects out, Self-Titled, which dropped in 2017, and then Die Lit in 2018, and then ever since we've been waiting on Whole Lotta Red, and it is 2020 with still no light at the tunnel in sight. Although we almost got Whole Lotta Red in 2019 before version 1 leaked, so I would honestly be able to put all of Carti's leaks in his technical discography that a lot of people don't necessarily count outside of the Carti community, because that's pretty much our fan base. We don't even listen to official music here. We only listen to the MP3s on our fucking Spotify and Apple Music local files. Same with the Juice Hub though too. But anyway, is it still possible to compare all of these artists? Because obviously Young Thug and Lil Uzi Vert definitely have more of a foot in the game, as they've been in hip hop way longer, or at least Young Thug definitely has, because Lil Uzi Vert may not have actually, because I honestly think that it's Carti's fault that we can't compare the artists, or that we can compare them, because Carti has honestly been out around the same time as Lil Uzi Vert, and that he's been popping since like 2016 or so, with a feature on Of Course We Ghetto Flowers on Uzi's Perfect Love tape. And he's actually been out earlier than that for all the Carti fans who've been listening to him since like 2014, 15. Now I can't include myself in that, because the first time I heard Carti was Of Course We Ghetto Flowers, but still, it's not like Carti's some new TikTok rapper that we can't compare his discography to Young Thug and Lil Uzi Vert, because it is his fault that he doesn't have as much music out as them. I mean, shit, in 2016 Uzi dropped 3 projects, and in 2020 he's already dropped 2, and Carti has literally only dropped 1 song, not to mention the fact that Uzi has dropped like multiple features, almost 10 I think. And Carti has all the power in the world to be able to clear features, drop songs, or anything like that. But we'll get into his release schedule in a minute. 4, in relation to this meme that we just spoke about in Carti not being on the same level as Uzi and Thugger, I think we can all agree that Young Thug technically birthed both Uzi and Carti. There's no question about that. Uzi's aesthetic and flow all generated from Young Thug's originally. And we can even draw a stronger comparison with Playboi Carti's flow in that Young Thug created Lil Keed, and if you saw one of my tweets a couple days ago, Lil Keed's Trapped on Cleveland 3 regular and deluxe albums sound exactly like 2020 Carti's flow, with all of like the pitching up of his voice and crazy melodies. So if Lil Keed is 100% known as being a Young Thug clone, so can Carti, technically speaking. Now I think Carti has grown into his own style. I'm not saying that he's a clone, but he was definitely influenced by Young Thug. But anyway, let's get into the actual biggest threat of Playboi Carti and his career of possibly falling off in the next couple of years. And it all lies within Playboi Carti's release schedule and strategy, and that he's very minimalistic, because as we discussed earlier, Playboi Carti has only dropped his debut official project in 2017 and then Dial It in 2018, which is technically an album, and only a handful of features ever since. Whereas Lil Uzi Vert and Young Thug, their strategy is on the opposite end, which is flood the market with as much music as possible to the point where fans can't even eat it up anymore. And this is why America is obese. And there's pros and cons to both sides. I mean, Playboi Carti's strategy definitely generates more hype per release, and that's why all the fans go crazy for like every single snippet, even if it's like 3 seconds, and every single leak or every single feature that doesn't even get cleared and then just gets dropped on like a SoundCloud private link. And even Lil Uzi Vert has used this strategy for Eternal Atake, and it worked. I mean, we waited for like 3 years for Eternal Atake, and look what happened. He almost sold like 300K first week, and then Lil Uzi Vert vs. the World 2 dropped the week after, and then we were all satisfied with our Thanksgiving meal of music from Uzi, and dude had one of the top highest streaming weeks out of any rapper in 2020. Plus he had like hella top 10 hits all in the same week. So again, Playboi Carti's strategy isn't completely flawed. However, in the days of social media, minimalism is going to stop working, at least in my opinion, in that Carti dropped one song this year other than Pain 1993, although we can even factor that into the equation, which was a Drake feature, but he dropped At Me in April, so really just 1 or 2 songs in 2020, and since the fans didn't really mess with the sound, now he has to completely restart and make a whole new album that already took 2 years to record. Whereas if he had been dropping this whole time, he would know exactly what the fans want. I mean, he could have dropped At Me in like 2019 or whenever he recorded this song. It flopped, again, just numbers wise, because I know some of y'all like the song. I personally did too. But again, after that song flopped, then he could have dropped another song and realized what the fans actually wanted, and then model Whole Lotta Red completely after the exact interest of the fans, and then we'd have Whole Lotta Red already, and dude would be one of the most relevant artists, top of the game, top 10 rappers. I already think he is that. He just doesn't market his music correctly. Now on the opposite end, Lil Uzi Vert drops one bad song, and I'm saying bad in quotation marks because that's really all subjective to you guys to let me know if you fuck with those songs, but we can just say that Sasuke was kind of a miss, objectively speaking, by numbers. However, ever since then, he's cleared hella features for people to drop with his verse on it, and now he's back on top, still bigger and more successful than ever, especially with previewing new music and already working on his next solo project, which we talked about yesterday. Not to mention the fact that after dropping some so-called misses, and people didn't even like the way Eternal Atake sounded because that was the new Uzi Baby Pluto, and now he's listening to people on Instagram and Twitter of going back to his old flow, which is exactly what an artist and content creator should do, and that's why the algorithm is there. Put out hella content, pick and choose which ones are the best based off of fan interest and engagement, and then hone in on that exact content, ultimately nullifying the entire effect of a flop. It doesn't even matter, you're only known for your wins in these algorithmic social media days. There is literally no reason to generate hype anymore, because if the content is good, the algorithm will push it to the top for you. I mean, some of these people be blowing up on TikTok off one post, and it's not like they generated hella hype and anticipation prior. And since he's dropped so many projects and collabed with so many people throughout the years, even though he's been out roughly the same amount of time as Carti, he is, objectively speaking, numbers wise, monthly listeners on Spotify, followers on Instagram, Twitter, and all that, bigger and more successful than Playboi Carti. Probably has a lot more money too, but we'll get into that in maybe another video. So if you ask me, I think Lil Uzi Vert and Young Thug's flood the market strategy definitely works way better for the newest age of rappers, in that I honestly think that Playboi Carti's strategy of minimalism and never dropping and trying to generate hype for every release is exactly how and why so many artists fall off off nowadays, including like Famous Dex that we talked about on the second channel, in which they sign a major record label deal and then all of a sudden they can't drop on SoundCloud or YouTube as frequently as they used to, and then the fans basically forget about them and they're not in the algorithms anymore, because to maintain yourself in the algorithm on all of the major streaming platforms like YouTube, Spotify, you gotta keep racking up them streams from new releases. Even Uzi himself on Twitter during the whole Love is Rage 2 and Build Up of Eternal Take was complaining about how he could not drop anymore after signing a major record deal. And I think the biggest proponent of this concept is NBA YoungBoy, in which, you know, I don't necessarily listen to NBA YoungBoy that much. I don't think he has the biggest fan base, yet dude be putting up numbers every single week on YouTube and every streaming platform because his fans are so dedicated, and dude drops like an album every single month. I think he's already on his like 4th or 5th album this year, about to drop with Rich the Kid very soon this month, and he already passed Lil Uzi Vert, who is objectively a larger artist as in like streams per song than NBA YoungBoy, yet he passed him in streams in 2020. So technically speaking, now NBA YoungBoy is a bigger artist than Lil Uzi Vert and is raking in more money than Lil Uzi Vert, especially when artists can't perform, just because he's been flooding the market even more than Uzi has this year. So in conclusion, if Playboi Carti don't pick up his release schedule, he might fall off with the days of social media and algorithms that'll push people's content to the top if it's good. I mean, he dropped one song, At Man, it generated a lot of hype at the time, but I don't know about y'all, but people ain't listening to that song no more. There are no more memes about Playboi Carti's baby voice. All we've been getting hype about is 30-second low quality leaked snippets, and Carti ain't making no money off that. All he doing is dressing up in tight leather clothes, posting Instagram stories with an iPhone 7 camera, and there is a strong possibility that he will fall off if he doesn't realize this predicament that he's in. Get with the times, Carti. I know the whole strategy of minimalism works to a degree, but the algorithms don't work like that no more. So with that, it's your boy Bobbalam signing off. About to pass Playboi Carti and Clout in the next couple years if dude don't drop, because that's just the way the algorithm works, my guy. Let me know in the comments if you think Playboi Carti will fall off if he continues to keep all the fans in a drought from Whole Lotta Red or any music for that matter. Make sure to like and subscribe while you're at it for the latest hip-hop news, drama, and analysis videos, as well as to follow me on all my socials in the description, or join the Bob Gang if you with it. Peace out, cut people. Know what I'm saying?